who love Jovica TV, I bring you greetings. My name is Jovica, and I am broadcasting from Jovica TV. Today, I'm having a very, 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 very interesting program, which I would like anyone that is live right now to be to feature yourself with a very good, wonderful scene that will be appealing to you. You know, in Jovica TV, we don't have dull moment. All our programs are well presented and we go to the right route. That's what we tell you. If you don't get information, you are already deformed. So I don't want my followers to be deformed. All you need to do, make sure you follow this particular channel by doing. When you are done following, we are going to have an interview with a bishop who had so many revelations to open up. You know, with me, some people say, when I talk about maybe Roman Catholic, some people say, is it because you are not a Roman Catholic? When I say, I talk about Anglican, I don't know what else you say. I talk about Pentecostal, is it because you are... So I am representing humanity. I believe in fairness, justice. Anybody that is being downtrodden, that attacked, marginalized, you are my brother, you are my friend. I make an input into your life. I give you a voice. And that is what I'm doing tonight. I'm going to give you a voice that will be silenced by authorities. He's going to explain by himself. Explain the detail by himself. Just stick to this, glue to your screen. You'll be happy you watched. Let's take the break. I will come back.
If you no get information, you are already deformed. Why not go to your YouTube? Jovica TV. You want come for Facebook? Jovica TV. Instagram and Twitter. Jovica TV. Abi you want come for TikTok? Jovica TV. Abi na WhatsApp you want come? Jovica TV. Jovica TV, poised to reach you with the truth.
Thank you, my wonderful viewers and listeners. We are always poised to reach you with the truth. I don't want to take much of your time. I'm letting the cat out of the bag or back out, whatever it is. Bishop, happy to have you here. You're welcome.
God bless you, sir.
May we know you, sir. Introduce yourself.
Okay. My name is Right Reverend Uzoma Goodness Ahunanya. I'm talking from Nigeria, from the Archdiocese of Port Harcourt or the Peniel Anglican Church worldwide.
Okay, Peniel Anglican Church worldwide. Before I contacted you, I had a lot of news how you were treated in the Anglican Church, to be precise. But I'm hearing you talking about Peniel Anglican Church worldwide. You are in Anglican as a bishop. You are still complaining. I still had complained that you are treated as Anglican. I'm a little bit confused. What's going on? Explain to me. Let me know. What's the difference between Anglican that treated you and the difference with the Anglican you're working with now?
Okay. Well, by the grace of God, from birth, I've been an Anglican. I was born by my parents who were Anglicans, and then baptized as an Anglican, confirmed as an Anglican, and has also worked as a layman in the Anglican Church at the youth fellowship level, at the scripture union level, became a lay reader in the Anglican Church, and it is not the Anglican Church, but the Church of Nigeria, Anglican Communion, now where I had been right from birth.
Okay.
And then that took on till I became a priest in the Anglican Communion, Church of Nigeria Anglican Communion. I became a priest in 2013.
Okay.
Well, I was made a deacon in 2013 and priested in 2014. I had served therein from one station to the other, from one parish to the other, until 2024, April to be precise, when I left Church of Nigeria, resulting from some maltreatments, I should say, from my vicar, then an Anglican, or still an Anglican, and then it spilled over to the diocese, to the diocesan, and then it resulted to my being suspended without any reason, as I can describe, without any justifiable reason. Because the reason for which I was suspended, according to them, was an act I found myself when I was posted to a particular station, and eventually they set up a panel against me, a kangaroo panel, I should say, and then how they mismanaged the informations, and then send the report to the bishop. The bishop, without any other review, slammed a 2-month suspension on me, which began on the 1st of July 2024, then was supposed to end by 1st of September. The bishop extended it to October when he recalled me. And then when he called me, he posted me to another church from that October up until December. And in that December, another location board took place by the itinerary of the bishop. He posted me to a church in Choba in Rivers State. Well, there on the location board, when my name was mentioned, the vicar of that church at Choba here in Rivers State protested to my coming to his church. From the information I got from the attendees of the location board, everybody was, why? Then I was a priest. What did the Reverend Ahunanya do that you don't want to work with him? He said, because I'm a non-stipendiary and that he's hosting the synod for the year 2024, and so he would not want to work with me. The bishop shouted him down, and then 2-3 days after, the bishop removed me there and sent me to Eleme, a place called Eleme, here in Port Harcourt, River State. Well, because I'm a non-stipendiary, I'm a lawyer in practice here in Port Harcourt, I sent a message to the bishop to please, that posting will work hardship on me, because I work here in Port Harcourt, my family lives with me here in Port Harcourt. Going to serve at Eleme will be a burden to me. I sent a word to the bishop through the chancellor of the diocese. The chancellor is the bishop, and the bishop said, if I don't want to go to Eleme, who else do I want to go there? Well, as a non-stipendiary priest who is not on salary, when I came back and weighed the options, I reported to Eleme. Only to get to Eleme, there was no vicar for me to live, and there was no house for me to live. The vicar made there could not make arrangement for at least a makeshift arrangement for me to a place of residence. And I was running from Port Harcourt to Eleme. Those who know Port Harcourt very well know the distance between Port Harcourt and Eleme, and the road, how rough it was. I had a very rickety old car, which I was using to Eleme and all that. Some days there had been no fuel for us to go because of the cost of transportation. I have a family of 7. I pack all of them in down my little car, some stay in the boot, and I run to Eleme 3 times in a week. Wednesday, during the midweek miracle service, Friday, during the Bible study, and on Sunday. And I must be there because I'm the curate. I took on that journey from January up until April, and I felt that I couldn't continue. That was how I willingly, voluntarily applied to the bishop to withdraw my services. Well, when the letter got to him, 2 weeks after, he sent for me and my wife. We went there at the bishop's office at the Cathedral Church of St. Paul's. I met with the bishop. He was asking me, am I the one that wrote this letter? I said, yes. What is my reason? I said, I am done. I want to stop. He said, why? I said, well, it's obvious that you know that I am passing through some challenges. He said he will not approve the letter that I should go back to LMA. I said, well, I will urge you to approve it because if you don't do so, I may not continue. That was what we had, and he couldn't persuade me, and I could not be persuaded. So that was how I left, and I've not gone back. Few months after, I
Okay.
got wind of Penal Anglican Church. Penal Anglican Church is one of the Episcopal Communion of all nations. It's a continual Anglican communion. So I joined the Penal Anglican Church, and that is where I've been. And by the grace of God, in April 27 this year, 2025, I was consecrated a bishop, having been elected a bishop in December last year. So far, that's my story. That's
Okay.
who I am.
Yeah, thank God and thank you for taking time to do justice to that wonderful question. You never missed words. You were very much articulated. Um, I just discovered the way you were talking with the date, fast and figure based on your narration or presentation. You are talking like a lawyer. We are talking like a lawyer. This is the way they will tell you on December 24, my lord, this and that. Would you have anything to do with law or whatever? That one really baffles me. Do you have anything to do with that?
Well, by the grace of God, I am a lawyer. I'm also
Oh,
in practice. I'm also a practicing lawyer.
oh, you're practicing. Oh, that's
Yes,
great.
I've been a lawyer. I've been a lawyer for over 20 years.
Okay, that
By
why
the
you
grace
say
of
you
God.
are not stipendiary. So you are doing your full-time lawyer law.
Very well.
Okay,
Very
okay,
well. Very well.
okay. Do you think it's convenient or advisable for somebody carry a full-time law practicing or any other thing and also be a priest or a bishop? How are you managing the two professions at the
Well,
same time?
that's the question I've always been confronted with, particularly since 2013 that I took up the Holy Order of Priesthood. A lot of people, even my colleagues as lawyers, or even my colleagues as priests, have confronted me to ask, man of God, how are you combining these two temples you are in? I've always told them that priesthood is my calling and legal practice is my vocation. Paul in the Bible was a tent maker. He was one of the greatest evangelists this earth has witnessed. And by the grace of God, he was able, even though Paul was also a lawyer, but prominently was mentioned to be a tent maker, Paul of Tarsus. And he was able to manage these two, professions so that he will not depend wholly or solely on, what comes from the altar, as it were. So that was why when I was to be made a deacon in 2013, I was still viable to become a full-time priest. Because before 2013, I've been a lawyer for about 10 years. Then took up the call as a priest because that had been my call since the year 1987 when I gave my life to Christ. In Abanico clarification, I had this inspiration. I have this, inner conviction that I was going to serve the Lord in this capacity. But I couldn't answer the call as far back as then. Well, because of some family circumstances, one wanted to better himself academically. But even as a lawyer, I was not really fulfilled that I've not answered my father's call. And that was why when I went to meet the bishop and the then Archbishop of the province of Niger Delta, who knew me and knew my services where I was worshiping as a lay member, and as I told him my story, immediately he approved that I should be made a deacon, that I should be ordained. He went personally to Umuahia Trinity Theological College to ask the director of the college and the secretary of the college to come to St. Paul's Cathedral to prepare me and two other of my colleagues for ordination. And that was done. A year or two after, we were ordained or made deacons. And then from there, we were priested. So by the grace of God, I've been managing both as a lawyer and as a priest. And one has not affected the other. Thank you, sir.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me
Okay,
now?
I can hear you now.
We have gone far halfway towards the program. We're going to take a break. As we take a breather, we come back, we finish the last lap of the program. Wonderful viewers and subscribers. If today is your first time I'm meeting this, my video on your screen, do me a favor, make sure you
Enjoy Fika TV in all social media.
Moral Interactive, Joe Vika TV, poised to reach you with the truth.
Okay, we are poised to reach you with the truth. This is Jovika TV, where we broadcast live from wherever you want to join to make your voice heard. Are you a worker in any company? Are you a bishop, a pastor, priest? You are being maltreated. You want the world to hear your story. This platform is meant for you. We are here to help those who are being silenced in one way or the other. I know there are some bishops that want to maltreat their subordinate subjects, and at the same time they don't want them to make an announcement about it. They wouldn't want you to go to court. They just want to silence you until you go to grave. I know many people that have been buried because they were depressed by the authorities that be, but not just in Anglican Church, Roman Catholic, Pentecostal. I had an interview with a young man a couple of days ago. The guy has been kept under slavery in the name of serving his so-called general overseer. I know of a reverend priest, a reverend father who has left the Roman Catholic Church. If you hear his story, you will pity him. I know of a priest in Anglican Church that have gone to the grave today. Some of them are still living. They have been maltreated by the authorities. Please, if you find yourself in this picture, Jovika is there to partner with you so that the world will hear your voice. Because the problem has been you are being dealt with, you are being bottled not to speak. That makes you to go down the grave so faster. But if you want to speak out, they say a problem shared is a problem I've solved. I will be there for you to start with you for the world to hear your voice. Welcome back, your Lord Bishop. Going to the last lap of this program, do you think that the Anglican Church has been fair to their priests and Anglican bishops, the one you know and the one most of the story available to you? Do you think they have been very, very fair to priesthood, to this particular Anglican that we inherited from our forefathers? What's your take?
I would want to also clear the air at the earlier question you asked that I left the Anglican Church, and I'm also saying that I'm now in Peniel Anglican Church. Yes, Peniel Anglican Church is a new Anglican communion. They are not part of Church of Nigeria.
Okay.
Apart from Peniel Anglican Church, there are other Anglican jurisdictions. We have the Gospel Anglican Church here in Nigeria. We have the Orthodox Anglican Church here in Nigeria. We have the Charismatic Anglican Church here in Nigeria. We have the Ecumenical Anglican Church also here in Nigeria. All these Anglican churches, not only these ones I mentioned, there are others that time may not allow me or permit me to mention. They are all Anglican churches that are not part of Church of Nigeria, just as Church of Nigeria ceased to be part of Church of England. And the funny thing about it is that these other Anglican churches that I have mentioned, when you mention it to the ears, or when the people who are in the Church of Nigeria or pastors of Church of Nigeria, even bishops of Church of Nigeria, hears that you are a member of Penal Anglican Church, you fall under their hammer for persecution. Now the question is, by 2008, when the Church of Nigeria left Church of England as a result of the things that came to clash with what we believe in, that has to do with homosexual and bisexual and all that, they left Church of England and now became independent Anglican Church in Nigeria. The Church of England did not ask them, why are you still bearing the name Anglican? Because when this question comes to me, I say the word Anglican is a generic word. It's an English word. It is not anybody's father's name. Now we have other churches, just like we have what they call it, the Baptist Church. We have Methodist Church. Methodist Church have about 2 or 3 factions now. Now you have other Pentecostal churches like apostolic, Christ apostolic churches. You have the New Apostolic, you have Christ Apostolic, you have Christ Apostolic Faith, and no problem has ensued among them. Even in the Catholic Church, we also have the Charismatic Catholic Renewal Ministry. The Pope has not stopped them from operating. Now, but in Church of Nigeria, here in Nigeria, Church of Nigeria wants to be the only church mentioned to be Anglicans. I feel that is even a demonstration of marginalization and suppression of people from exercising their faith. In fact, they forget the fact that Section 34 of the Constitution of Nigeria, 1999 Constitution, as amended, allows you for freedom of worship and association. Because I want to tell you categorically, since April last year that I left Church of Nigeria, I have been under persecution. I have been under name calling. They have said we are fake. They say we are homosexual. They say we are wicked. They say we are witches and all that. In fact, my Archbishop, Right Reverend, Most Reverend Dr. S.P. Alozie JP, who was also a canon in the Anglican Church, that was suspended for 5 good days without being recalled. His family went through hell. Nobody wanted to look his way until he went to the industrial court and got judgment against Niger Delta North of the Anglican Communion here in Nigeria. It was when they got judgment, they ran around, they were begging him, please come back, come and do that, so that he will not execute the judgment. So that's the situation I wanted to clear, that Penal Anglican Church is a full-fledged Anglican church, just like the Pentecostal Anglican Church, just like the Gospel Anglican Church. We are full-fledged Anglicans who practice Anglican tradition as we inherited it from our forefathers. I don't think, except maybe I may not be in a position to say, but as far as I'm concerned, Penal Anglican Church is not a homosexual church, it's not an occult church, it's not even a dissident church. It's a church serving the Lord through the tradition of the Anglican Communion, as we got it from our forefathers. Well, your question now.
Okay.
The bishops of the Anglican Church have been treating their pastors well. I have a typical example of those, or one of those who have been maltreated, wickedly. So my Archbishop, who is the primate of Penal Anglican Church, his own is it cannot even be mentioned. It's good you should have an interface with him, so that he'll be able to tell you himself what he passed through in the hands of these people who call themselves pastors and bishops. Well, I have not come to judge them. God will judge each one of us. We are in a situation where in a diocese, the bishop prefers those who is going to give good posting. He knows those whom he's going to keep in good churches, even when they are junior pastors.
Wait. But I thought they said it is the Holy Spirit that does the posting.
Well, I don't know. Now that I'm a bishop, I will tell you, yes, it's the Holy Spirit, but then the greed in human beings have added the nature of man in them.
That's it.
You know, a situation where you keep your brothers, your in-laws, those who are from your own clan. If you are not from the clan where the so-called big man is, you don't get any good person. They want to throw you to anywhere and abandon you there. There are some pastors in this diocese, in the diocese of Niger Delta North, that has been ordinary reverend. Some of them are mess or the bishop or the present bishop. They've been just reverend. But younger ones have been made canons. I know it is by preferment anyway. But notwithstanding, it should have a human face. In the secular world where you work, if you work for 3 years, you are entitled to promotion. Unless there is anything so manifestly bad in your conduct, maybe queries and all that. But even at that, there is someone that is working for 3, 4, 5, 10 years, you are not promoted to the next level, and you'll be happy. I challenge you, if you look at, if you have the clip of the synod or the Diocese of Niger Delta North that was just that just happened 2 weeks ago. On the day of the Thanksgiving, look, have an overview survey. Look at the faces of the pastors there, and tell me if they are happy. I'll leave that with you. I know you are the journalist; you can find it. Get the video of that synod, or get the video of this, the sessions of the synod. All the pastors keep face like goat that is going to the market. They are all subdued, they are angry, they don't know what to say, they are just there unhappy because some of them have been maltreated. Well, I leave it at that. I leave it at that. The one they did to me, I've been on suspension in the year 2018. What did I do? My wife sent a text message to express that we have not been paid. The vicar was working with that time. For 14 months, refused to pay me my stipend of 50,000 naira per month. What was my offense? Nothing to be explained. Sorry, sir. When the problem began to get so bad, the bishop graciously removed me from that church and sent me to another church. But we are asking, our stipend and that of my wife, where was this still? It amounted about 700 or 800,000 naira.
Wow.
I did a letter to the bishop asking that he should tell the vicar to pay me. The bishop referred the letter to his admin assistant. He wrote to the vicar after inviting us separately to hear our stories. He wrote that the vicar should pay me my money. The vicar reluctantly paid me only 100,000 out of 800,000.
Do you mind calling the name of this vicar? Because some of them, this platform, if you have the bonnet to call, if you call, I can reach out. Let them come and defend themselves. Give them the fair, because this is inhumanity. And if you can, you are a lawyer, take them to court.
In course of the discussion, I will tell you their names. Okay. Now, what we're trying to say was that in course of the hunger and what they have subjected us into, my wife did a text message to their bishop, telling him that this vicar has refused to pay us because he's alleging that the archbishop will not do anything to him. When my wife did this text message, under God, I didn't know. The archbishop sent for me and my wife and invited that vicar and his group cohorts, laymen who were joining him in that church to perpetrate evil. They came to their bishop's conference room. Their bishop started addressing us and all that. Since he became a pastor, he has never seen a junior pastor that would have indicted his vicar the way I have done. I was surprised why he was saying so. Now, at the end of the day, he brought out his phone, brought out a text message, and read that text message in the presence of all the, those who work at the cathedral, at the presence of his wife too. I and my wife were there. That vicar and all his All his cohorts were there. He showed me the text message. I read it. The number that sent the text message was not mine. Now I said, my Lord, I didn't send this text message. This is not my number. Now the wife of the bishop said, give me that number. Let me find out who owns it. That was in 2018, 2017 rather. She dialed the number of my wife came out. He said, who is this person? Is it not your wife? I turned around and asked my wife, honey, did you send this text message? My wife says she has even forgotten if she sent such message. Now, at that point, the bishop said he was going to suspend me. I said, my Lord, what did I do? He said he was going to suspend. I think I'm a lawyer. When he suspends me, I should take him to court. I said, God forbid that I should take my Lord to court. Now that went on. The following day, I and my wife drove to the bishop's house, the bishop's house at Eleme. We stayed at the gate for about 3 hours, wanting to see him, to appeal to him. He refused us entry. We reluctantly came back. The following week on Tuesday, I went to the office. The bishop refused to see me. I was in the office when he was to go. I fell down at his feet, at his door. He crossed me with his leg, ran down. He went down to his car to enter the car. As he entered the car, I went to the door, was starting. Say, my Lord, I'm very sorry.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, sir.
You fell down in front of him, and he walked across you. He walked over you, or he did.
I fell down in front of him. I fell down in front of him to appeal to him, my Lord, I'm very sorry. Anything I have done, I am your son. I just got to them. I'm sorry. He crossed me. He used his leg, crossed me, and left.
Jesus Christ.
Went down and entered his car, entered his jeep. I ran down, got to the car. I was tapping at his window. Your Grace, please have mercy on me. Have mercy on me. He just waved me like this. So I left, ran to the wife's office. The wife was coming out. I went to the wife and knelt down before the wife. Said, Mommy, please help me and beg Daddy not to suspend me. She said there's nothing she can do. After all, her younger brother was also suspended. She couldn't do anything. That is pastor's matter. She's not a pastor. I ran back to them. I was there. They drove out. I cried my hair. I cried my head out. That was how they abandoned me. The following day, they sent me a letter of 3 months suspension. That's how they suspended me without pay. I was at home for 3 months. The following year, when I must have been, restored, the following year we went for what we call Clergy and Wives Conference at Abaroto, because their bishop or the bishop takes out all the pastors and their wives to a far place for 1 week retreat. On my getting there, as we just dropped, it didn't take up to 10 minutes. What raised me up and hit me on the ground, I didn't know. My thigh got broken. I had a very serious fracture. I was carried back home. I was at home for 8 months. The Archbishop did not call me one day. That program was Archbishop's program. He did not call me one day to ask me, look at what he had, what happened. He did not send anybody to come and visit me. The diocese did not care for my medical care. I suffered, was moving with crutches, was even coming to church with crutches. Apart from my parish, my vicar that offered some help. But this was a program, I was a casualty in the Archbishop's program. He never sent anybody to go and ask, how am I doing? After that period of gestation and staying away, I was posted to another church. That was what happened. So what could be more ill-treatment than that? And for that 3 months, I was at home. The church didn't even come to church. They don't want to see you in church. That you're on suspension. You are not going to be paid. They say you should pack up from the church house where you are living. That was my experience in 2017 and 2018. Then the one that I was suspended, now a new bishop. What did I do? I was posted from where I was, the last place I served, to another church, which was a station church. The time I got there, I know that the church, the diocese, has what we call a financial direction, whereby a priest of a church, a priest in a church that is not a parish, you don't need to sign any bank transaction. But when I got to that church, the PCC told me when I made inquiries that up to 4 vicars before I came, up to 4 priests that before I came, we are signing their financial regulations, their checks. I said no. From what I know, it ought not to be so. They said no. They got a fiat from the Anglican of the church for them to sign because the treasurer was a bank manager. She didn't have time to run around to carry check to the vicar to sign. And so that since they've been given that permission, that's why they've been signing. And in fact, before I got there, the immediate past priest signed about 10 checks with which we were drawing money to run the church. When those checks were exhausted, I now went to the bank and, perfected the change of signature. That same week, the Advocacy, who also came new, called me and one of my colleagues in another church, in another station church, and was asking why would we be signing. I told him that was what I meant. He said I should go and change it. That's okay. Go to the manager and do another change of signature. He went and did. But the church had another account which they were using as their internal, for development wise, which the priests were running. Now, the vicar called me and started querying me. I replied with query. He bundled my query, sent to the bishop. Bishop gave me another query. As he gave me that query, I answered. So he set up a panel. Panel met. I said I should go on suspension.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, before this thing happened, the vicar called me. I went to his office. The vicar wanted to beat me up. He wanted to slap me. During the panel, they asked him. He said yes, he attended to it. Yes, he wanted to slap me. He nearly slapped me. He hit on his table and shouted and walked me out of his office. That if I don't leave here, he was going to. I said, please don't push me. I have a bad leg, which you are aware of. And he's the chairman of Pleasure Association. He is the chairman of Pleasure Association, Venerable Dr. Chimela Samuel.
Well, I'm happy you mentioned it. Wait. I'm happy you mentioned it. Chimela, you are my friend, and I make sure you watch this video. Chimela, I want you to come and defend yourself on this allegation. I know you may not like to come, but if you don't come, I'm going to make another video for you. You are a wicked man. Except you come and defend yourself on this wickedness you are acting. Chimela, it's too much. Come and defend yourself.
He wanted to slap me. He wanted to slap me in the very
man. How old is he? How old are you? Why will he raise hand on you? A man that is old enough to go to his father? I hate wickedness.
Don't worry. He's in charge. He's in charge. In fact, he is the bishop de facto of this diocese. He contributed to the closing down to the problem that Niger Delta North has with St. Matthew's Anglican Church in Pogo.
He contributed to this. I'm calling him boy. Chimela. Anyway, don't worry. I'll give me his number. I'll call him. Nonsense.
He contributed to the problem that one of our churches at Ebelu had. The church was divided into two. One part of the church left, and they have their own church today. He was at St. Nicholas Alo. He had interest with his colleagues who are pastors. He was at St. Market Ozuoba. It was trouble. He was in St. Matthew's Anglican Church in Buoba. It was trouble. He was in my former church, New Covenant Anglican Church, Nzimiro. It was trouble. But he is the saint among God. So he queried me and took my query to the bishop. Bishop set up a panel. Panel sat at the floor of the panel. When I said that he wanted to slap, he nearly slapped me. The panel asked him, he admitted, yes, that was what he did. That was what he did. But before the panel, as the panel was sitting, I knelt down before the panel said, I do not want to have any issue with my vicar. Please, I'm sorry. In any way I have offended, please, I'm sorry. Don't allow me to say anything. They asked him, look at what your priest said. He said, no, it's too late that we have come here, so the matter must go on. So when they found out that he nearly slapped me, in the panel report, the panel said I should go on suspension for 2 months without salary. I should pack up from vicarage. And then for him, that bishop should reprimand him. That bishop should reprimand him for attempting to assault his fellow priests. He was never reprimanded. But I went on suspension for 2 months, and bishop converted it to 3 months.
What was your offense?
And they were calling me that I should pack out from the vicarage where I was living. But unfortunately for them, I was not living at the vicarage. That church had no vicarage. I rented a house. In fact, from where I'm talking to you now, is a house I rented personally in 2022. But they were telling me to pack up from there. I said the house it has an agreement, tenancy agreement in my name. It was not the church that rented it for me. They said the admin assistant of the bishop said I should pack out. I said I should pack out under the bridge or I should pack to your house. That was what happened. So how fair is that? Even in one of the occasions, in fact, in 2024, before I left the church, in February, the bishop called an emergency, a one-day synod to replace the treasurer of the diocese who had traveled abroad, according to them. Now, in that one-day synod, the program was to start by 11. Those who came a minute after 11, there were more than 20 pastors. The bishop slammed a 2-month suspension without pay on all of them for coming a minute before he came to address the church. 2-month suspension without pay, and they should pack out from the vicarage.
We don't go further.
A pastor that had given all his life.
Hello, sir. Excuse me, sir.
Let me round up. A pastor that had given all his life in the service of as a priest does not have a house in Port Harcourt, does not have his own house. You suspend him and say you should pack up from the vicarage. That is, you should go home, or you should go and down under the bridge with his entire family and no pay in February after coming back from Christmas and New Year celebration.
Child.
It took the intervention of other bishops who were calling him. Why do you say they should pack out? We didn't allow them to stay there, but they shouldn't come to church. They shouldn't partake on anything that comes to the altar. Laymen were conducting services. Pastors were doing exchange of pulpit to come and preach in those churches that the suspension affected. How good is that? And this is what happens in the society, and we begin to open our mouth and pastors to condemn them. We'll climb pulpit and condemn them, but it is inherent among us.
That's where I'm going. You need to see the way they condemn politicians. Look at the youth lying down. So a human being saw his own fellow human being crying under you place. A first he did not commit. My wife out of pressure send a text message.
My wife out of pressure cannot be paid. Send a text message. He said should go on suspension for 3 good months.
For text message. Hold on, sir. For text message, and you call yourself a man of God. You call yourself a priest. You call yourself a bishop, an archbishop.
They are men of God. I won't condemn them. It's God that has the judgment. So that was what happened.
Frankly speaking,
I had it up to my leg because I'm not from the part of River State where the diocese is situated. That's why we are seen as anathema. But all the people that are from here within the, who are brothers and relations of the bishop, you go to, they are not. Oh, sorry, it's okay.
Wonderful followers. I'm really worried and angry. As a presenter, as a host, I know I shouldn't be a partisan and I shouldn't take side. But why is seeing me sounding the way I'm sounding? I'm preview to this particular information. I'm there. I've heard it. This guy he mentioned, I've heard a lot about it. It's my friend, though we don't interact. It's a young boy. It's a boy just made man by his with the whatever. I want to talk to him here so that when he watch this video, let him get angry and come and defend himself. I keep repeating it. We want to give him fair hearing so that I can talk to him one-on-one if he cares. But if you don't want to care, what I said here stands. That he is wicked. I'm not saying because of what you said. I have had so many people. You are not the only person.
Let him come and challenge me. Let him come and challenge me whether he was not part of the problem that caused St. Matthew's Mpogo, St. Matthew's Church in Mpogo to be at loggerhead with the diocese. Whether he's not part of the persons that divided St. Michael, one of the churches we have at Togbogro, that was a station church under St. Michael's Ozoba, where he was vicar. Let him come and challenge me if he was not part of it. Or what I did.
It's a problem.
What I did that the offense, the reported offense that I committed, I gave rise to the query and suspension that was slammed on me, was more than the fact that there are other 3 pastors who were signing checks. In fact, on the floor of the panel, the former Anglican was called. Venerable Dr. Adobasim was called to know from him if he was the person that gave permission to these churches under Romapara for their priests to be signing that. He said yes. He admitted in the panel. The chairman of the panel called him and put the phone on speaker. All of us had it. Adobasim said yes. He gave them permission to sign to ease administrative bottlenecks. They are very senior priests, and even though the financial regulation says that station churches, their financial transaction will not be signed by the priest there, but that by his own discretion, as an deacon, a very senior deacon, that he gave those churches, the leverage, their pastors to be signing. And that was what happened. Even when they have had that, the panel, because they were teleguided, went ahead to come to their finding. That was not the problem anyway. I saw the suspension and returned. They posted me, and before I felt that, because if I have not sent a message to the bishop that this posting to LMA will work hardship for me, and it worked hardship for me because my family was starving. 5 of my children, schools in Uniport.
Okay.
My wife works here in Port Harcourt, and I'm a non-stipendiary. So all my operations I do not know.
Okay.
I obey.
Bala Bishop, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Oh my goodness. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. I hear you.
Okay.
Yes, I hear. I'm hearing you.
It's a break a little bit. Viewers and followers, frankly speaking, I had in mind of having this time about 25, at most 30 minutes. But we have already gone 47 minutes because a lot of revelation is coming up. And I wouldn't want to silence him like the way all those authorities silence him that nobody couldn't hear him. My brothers, some of you will be here writing rubbish because you want to defend the church. I've been saying this thing. Roman Catholic Church is not our culture. Anglican is not our culture. No church is our culture. Even those indigenous church is a way a man comes to reach to his God and ask me to join through that way. I don't see why we should be using this particular I don't know how to put it, man-made way of serving God to determine the way we relate to our humanity. I've seen a case, a scenario, you love your brother, you love this guy, you want to marry him, and you guys are tallying together. Where church do you go from? You are from Roman Catholic, the other person is Anglican. They say, no, we can't marry. Just because of somebody's way of serving God he introduced that you are using, you determine who you're going to marry. Now, the same church now, this is a brother from the same River State. Because of church, he's seeing his brother, maltreating his brother, want to maintain a status in the so-called position they put you. Now, talking about the bishop, I heard the story of that particular suspension. I thought it was a fabricated story. The guy was telling me that people came late to meet him. They were suspended, not just suspended, they were asked to leave their pack out to where?
From the vicarage where they are living.
Speaking, how I wish I was there. I would say, Bishop, you lied. If I pack out, if I pack out, say, shut up, yeah, Bishop beginning. I will not pack out. Suspension accepted, no salary accepted. But for me to pack out, you can't do it. You can't do it. Come and pack me out. And he go tell her there. I go tell her, you get it to do the worst. No, why is it there are many people suffering this? Because I hear a lot. In fact, there's a diocese. I'm going to be making a video for them. It's the bishop wife that is controlling that diocese. The bishop will call the priest at any time. I need 1 million naira next week.
Now what?
The man say, okay, should I call the priest? I say I need money. If you don't know how to raise me money there, I will remove you from that church. If you thought it's a joke, the person will be posted out in the next posting. Let me put somebody that can give me money whenever I call. A bishop of a diocese. I want to get a number of that bishop. I'm gonna call him because I don't want to hear from one side and conclude. But I have listened to so many people making the same report. It's very much unfair. We complain about the politicians. We complain about what they do in the society. But God give you an opportunity. You want to subject people into inhuman maltreatment and you tell yourself you are going to heaven. Quit heaven as a bishop, as the Anglican. Quit heaven. We complain about how these people came here to destroy us by making us what we call it the taskmasters. They maltreated our forefathers. And you as a bishop, you turn a taskmaster over your subject, over your bishop, and you call yourself a leader, you're going to heaven. May God have mercy upon people. So, in conclusion, I'm going to be presenting him now. It is very, very heartbreaking that people today, I'm controlling my words. I'm controlling my words. It's very, very, very hard. You see, some of the I heard that a wife of a bishop was kneeling down the priest. Say what did they do? They made noise. Hey, kneel down there. So we are bringing Cain to flog a wife of a priest. Let me tell you guys, listen to me. Each time I see this picture, I remember the slave trade, the taskmasters. Look at how the taskmasters were sitting down in front, and look at them. It's only one person that is putting clothes. They remove the clothes of the slaves, and the taskmaster will be the white man sitting there in Badagry. This is the way our bishops have. The bishop will be sitting down comfortably in their salary, sitting there in their air-conditioned car, but they don't want, when a priest buys a car, they will call you and suspend you. I know of a priest that is suffering today. What is the offense? He bought a Jeep. The wife works in a very big, which let me mention, the wife works in FMC. This girl has been working in FMC, making good salary. He bought a Jeep for the husband so that they would enjoy. A bishop have to punish the priest. Why are you driving Jeep? I'm also driving Jeep. Are you up to how many years as a priest? We are the bishop want to control the way I live my life. A priest will give a child birth to a child. The bishop will be announcing him in a bishop address. Hey, you have given birth last day. You gave birth this day. If you give birth, I will suspend you. Is that what to discuss in the bishop address publicly? Your Lordship, I think I'm so emotional. I'm really angry with this particular development.
Very sorry.
I'm so emotional and I'm really angry. It pains my heart so much. We have really spent enough time. Let me not exceed 1 hour. I attended 30 minutes, but the stories are so interesting. I'm going to bring you back to finish your ordeal. But it's quite unfortunate that bishop that is suspending people for coming late. 1 minute late, 2 minutes late. But go and ask him where he was not a bishop. He's full of so many negativity. I'm also happy that the person that installed him as a bishop, that is one thing that I discovered among these bishops. Anyone that's going retirement, they want to install a successor. They wouldn't allow the system to produce a successor by themselves. Just like what the governors are doing in the society. A governor is stepping down, they want to put their son, their in-law, their subject, their loyalty. This is what the bishops are doing in the church. Now, the same bishop that is maltreating people, so his predecessor is the retired bishop or whatever he is not happy with him because he's not dealing with him. He's complaining because I had a story. What is happening in River State? That man was made chairman or may allowed to talk because of what's happened in between Wike and Fubara. And he said, and I quote, Wike should deal with the situation. We too have found ourselves in that place. He put up a successor. a successor, the successor made him a non-entity. He said he has been in that shoe. Wike should live with his problem. That is the way it is. He should stop disturbing the people. So he knows how to put successor, and God knows how to use them against the people. That is how God pay people with their wickedness. There are people who God have ordained, qualified for that position, but because you don't like him, for any reason based on you, you selfishly and unilaterally install a successor for you. Today, the successor, they show you pepper. I wish and I pray all these bishops, I wish and I keep praying, all these bishops that are forcing to have a successor by themselves, may that successor, Bala goes say, he say, this is the way I'm going to be bringing the program for I think in a closure. The network is really disturbing. Whether they send them attack because I think they did them very, very well. But it's very, very disheartening. It's very, very disheartening. Let's take this final break for the day. When we come back, we will take, if the network allows him to speak for the last time. There's one more question I want to ask him. Please go and follow him on his social media handle to know his activity.
If you no get information, you are already deformed. Why not go to your YouTube? Jovika TV. You want come for Facebook? Jovika TV. Instagram and Twitter. Jovika TV. Abi you want come for TikTok? Jovika TV. Abi na WhatsApp you want come? Jovika TV. Jovika TV. Poised to reach you with the truth.
We are always poised to reach you with the truth. We don't care what the problem might be. We say it, and we are ready to go to court. Bishop, you're welcome back.
Yes, sir. I'm here.
We have 3 minutes to go. Your story is really
at the expiration of that so-called suspension of 2023 that began in 1st January and ought to have ended on 1st of September. The bishop took it to end in October. When I went to his office and to tell him and remind him that the suspension has ended, please be merciful and restore me. He said he has restored me. I knelt before the bishop to please pray for me and my family. I've been on suspension for the past 3 months. I've not been to church. The bishop said he was not going to pray for me. I knelt down before him for almost 30 minutes. He was rolling his chair from one end to the other. So I had to leave his office that he was not going to pray for me. I reluctantly stood up from there, was walking sluggishly, looking back whether he would come in. Welcome, let me pray for you. He said he was not going to pray for me. I left his office and took the letter from my post into Eneka. Only 3 months at Eneka, he sent me out again to Choba. The man at Choba, who's one other Almighty, rejected me. Then Bishop took me to Eleme to go and support.
What's his name? What's his name? Right, the internet, even my own. Can you guys hear me? Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh wow. I think at this juncture I want to call it a day because I have other engagements to attend to. The network wouldn't allow him to come back. He's going to come back with the other bishop and some. If you let me end this thing here. If you're among those that have been maltreated by your authorities, I'm be giving you another opportunity to come. He's going to come back because of internet. Bishop, this is 1 hour already. Normally my interview don't last more than 1 hour. So I'm so sorry.
Thank you. I'm sorry.
What you're going to do to me is talk to your archbishop. Two of you is going to come back. If not next week or next upper week. We want to hear details of story. And those of you on the other side, I believe in fair hearing. If you think they are lying against you, we will give you a fair hearing to come and defend yourself if you think you care. But because of you guys are in authority, you don't give a damn about anybody. We will drop this report. It's going to be kept on YouTube forever over your life. Your name will be mentioned. And we human beings are judging you already based on your activities. We know your activities. I know that. I'm not a stranger. And if I don't know all this story, I wouldn't have bothered to start reacting the way I'm reacting. So when you hear me react, those of you watching, so you can say, yeah, just host. Why not give? No. These guys are evil. Mainly that Chimela, mainly that guy. He's a small boy, very young man, but wicked, very fair, handsome, but his heart is devilish, very black and charcoal. Let me talk. No apology. Let him take me to court. We slug it out at the court. And I'm inviting him here. If he come, I go still tell him this. As you guys hear me talking now, if he come here, if he can't defend himself, whatever, I will still tell you are wicked, bro. Let me go tell him.
It's okay.
Thank you, God bless you for finding your way into this platform. Tell your archbishop, we're gonna have what is your parting word? Do you have any? If somebody want to contact you to as a lawyer in Port Harcourt or anywhere, is there anybody to reach you?
Yeah.
Make sure your whatever way people can reach out to you. And if anybody wants to also support you in your new ministry, hold on, sir. If anybody feels touched by your story, they want to support you in your new ministry, please tell them how to reach out to you. Go ahead, sir.
It's okay. As a lawyer, my office is at number 15 on Hato Street in D-Line, Port Harcourt, River State, Nigeria. And I also want to encourage people, as they are branding the Penal Anglican Church to be evil and fake, we are not fake. We are not evil. Particularly my River State people. You know, River State people, they are very, very sluggish in answering a call such as this. I want to encourage them to join the Penal Anglican Church and grow from there. Church of Nigeria is not the only way to heaven. God is the only way. Jesus is the way to heaven. Come and join us in Penal Anglican Church and live the name of Jesus higher, without any inhibition, without any intimidation, without any fear. A situation where pastor will attend there's some program, you are afraid, you don't know who will go and gossip before the bishop. That begins your problem. Your bishop is passing, you say, my Lord, good morning. Bishop will not even answer you. He will not even say good morning. Just pass it. A bishop was a pastor. Pope was a reverend father. Pope was a reverend father. As I'm a bishop now, will I forget that a year or two ago I was just a mere priest? God forbid, I will not forget it. And I will not.
Yeah. Advocacy TV in all social media platforms, Facebook and Twitter, YouTube and Insta Anchor. Truth must be told, Sogi Brodibia or Pastor. Or television with the truth is what you ask for. This is Jovika Television. Jovika Television, poised to reach you with the truth.